Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another episode of Retro Releases. In today's video we're going all the way back to 2011/2012, back to the Cars 2 mainline to take a look at Funny Car Mater. Of course my deadline for this is it has to be a car that hasn't been re-released in 8 or more years, and this year makes it at least 11, I believe. Yeah, 11. Possibly 12, just depending on where it came out in the Cars 2 line, because that spanned across both 2011 and 2012. And I do not exactly know when this guy first came out. That's enough about that. Funny Car Mater, of course, appears for maybe like 4 or 5 seconds in Cars 2, in that scene where, you know, Finn McMissile, Holly Schittrell are trying all the disguises on him. Of course, I have some of the other disguises here. Like you have Materhosen, as well as Dracula Mater. Of course, the end goal is to get him to look like Ivan Mater, who I do have as well. I just forgot to pull him out of the case for this one. Funny Car Mater is probably my favorite out of all the ones they've made. A Taco Truck Mater has to be a close second in terms of ones they made. I'm talking about like the disguised Maters. So you have Funny Car Mater, Materhosen, Dracula Mater, Mater as Ivan, and Taco Truck Mater in those categories. And I think Dragster Mater, probably my favorite out of those. As I said, Taco Truck Mater second, even though I don't have him and he is really expensive. This guy's price isn't too terrible. It's around the $40 range, so not really cheap, but it is obtainable. Let's take a look at this guy here. So he's got a big old raised suspension of, well, I don't know if you'd call it a raised suspension, more of like a gigantic rear, some gigantic rear wheels, just like the real life drag race. He's got something stuck on his inside a wheel here. What's this, a little bit of a sticker or something? So, of course, he's an all yellow color with some red flames. That starts off as like an orange, but it very, very quickly fades into red. Fades a little bit out into orange. You can see back here. I think each flame, you can see that one also goes from orange to red, just ever so slightly. And this one goes from red to an orange, or at least a brighter or a lighter red, not a brighter red. On the back, you have kind of like a phoenix design, even though you don't actually have the bird, of course. Mater's license plate, A113. One of the classic Pixar Easter eggs that they sneak into most of their stuff. I did mention the raised suspension. He is facing completely downwards. He's got these big wheels, of course, big old tires, just like the real life dragsters, which I already mentioned. You can see those wheels themselves, like the rims, rather, are definitely different from what you would see on like a standard Mater. There's the Cars 2 Mater. You see wheels are very clearly different. Those are some ones you would see on like a Hot Wheels chase, and not a Mater usually. He's of course got his gigantic engine, that's basically kind of stopping him from seeing. Similar to Snot Rod, but I think Snot Rod's eyes were like completely in front or behind his engine. Whereas Mater, you can see he has at least a little bit of room where you can see if you like center that, you can see at least a little bit. It's got a nice goofy expression as well, looking really determined. And if you remember in the scene, he was kind of, you know, revving his engine, and then they took the disguise away, and he was just kind of blowing his mouth or whatever. He was like something like that. He's got those big old exhaust pipes on the side. You have 4 on each, under each door. You have Tow Mater written just on the side there, in a kind of dragster, I don't know what font that would be. It just seems like one that you would see on a car like this. Of course, one of the big things about this guy is this gigantic spoiler, which also has the flames. You can see that Phoenix design again. Whole lot of design. I guess it wouldn't be fair to talk about that giant wing without mentioning Tokyo Mater, who has a very similar thing. That's not Tokyo Mater, that is Drift Party Mater, or not Drift Party Mater, Tokyo Mater with oil stains. So not exactly Tokyo Mater, but same car, just with some extra paint on it. Do not yet have the normal Tokyo Mater. It's almost exactly the same spoiler. That's pretty cool. Just, I think, Drag Racer Mater's is a little bit bigger. Also notice it doesn't have the tow hook. You can see On a Tokyo Mater, he still has that tow hook. No tow hook on Funny Car Mater. And of course, you can see like on Materhosen and on Dracula Mater, that tow hook is still there. I don't think it's there on Taco Truck Mater because it's kind of like a flat end. One thing I do want to mention is that the Disney Store has absolutely abused this guy. So not only did the Disney Store make the normal Funny Car Mater, they made like so many different variants on this model, and I actually do not have any of them. I used to have, I think, at least one or two, but I no longer have those. I sold off a lot of my Disney Store collection years ago, which I kind of regret, but I just, whenever I get kind of down about that, I just remember all the cars I was able to buy with the money from selling those, even though there were some pretty cool pieces that I definitely want to get back here in the near future. Like Lightning Mater was one that they did. They did a Hot Rod Mater, which is kind of similar to like a Stealth McQueen, or a Hot Rod McQueen, the one that I have. They did like a one of those special collector cars on the Drag Racer Mater model, like the blue, white, and red one. They did a Drag Star Mater where he's kind of in like a copper color. He's got like a logo on his roof that I can't exactly tell what it is as of right now, just the picture I'm looking at. The rest of him is just kind of brown. His eyes are like, he has yellow eyelids, which doesn't really match too well. They made a Drag Star. Wait, is it Drag Star or Drag Star? I can't tell from there. I think it's just Drag Star Mater. So they made a Drag Star Mater, and then they made another Drag Star Mater, but with a different design. It's kind of like a gold color. The eyelids actually match the paint of the car this time. He's got some red wheels. He's got some extra flame decals. That's pretty cool. And then of course they milked it even further by re-releasing the regular Funny Car Mater in several different multi-packs. I think they had him as a single, and then he was in at least 2, like 5 or maybe 4 or 6 packs. So as I said, they completely abused the Drag Star Mater, or I don't know what I'm saying, the Funny Car Mater model, similar to what they did with the Taco Truck Mater model, where they made the original Taco Truck Mater, they made like the Ice Cream Truck Mater, they made like the Lightning McQueen and Taco Truck Mater. Lots of cool stuff the Disney Store used to do, and they still do occasionally. Do some good stuff, but they fell off pretty hard. As I said, want to get a whole lot of the Disney Store stuff back. Like they made like a metallic Fabrizio that I had, and I completely banged it up, sold it off eventually. So yeah, gotta get some of that Disney Store stuff back. But this video was about Funny Car Mater. Another little fun fact is that in the original concept art for Cars 2, he was supposed to be red. You can see the picture here. There's also a lot of other stuff that was different about him, like the spoiler was different. He wasn't raised up off the ground. I actually prefer the one that they did use in the movie, and that's something I don't really think of often. I'll usually prefer the one that they didn't use in the movie, because concept art, you have a lot more freedom to do what you want. But I think they made the right call with this one. That one was just a little bit worse compared to the one we actually got. So good move by Pixar, and a pretty good job by Mattel by making him. One little gripe I do have, of course, apart from the chips that I've put on him as a kid, is the mirrors are not exactly what they are in the movie. The mirrors are yellow, and they were kind of, I believe, towards their original spots. I'll have to look at the picture real quick. They did make a mini racer of this guy, and that was in a multi-pack. Haven't gotten that one yet. Yeah, I can see here the mirrors are supposed to be yellow, but they are actually in the right place. So good job by Mattel on everything except for that mirror color. That is pretty much it for today's video. Funny Car Mater, one of the coolest releases. I've wanted to talk about this guy for a while. Absolutely awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.